Corruption in Latin America isn't just scandal, it's a system. From billion-dollar bribes in Brazil to every Peruvian president facing charges to Venezuela's oil wealth vanishing, offshore corruption is everywhere. In this video, we'll uncover why it's so deeply ingrained and what it really takes to fight back. Ladies and gentlemen, corruption in Central America, the Caribbean, and South America is not just a string of scandals. It is systemic, deeply ingrained, and it touches nearly every level of society. Take Brazil. According to prosecutors in the famous Operation Car Wash, the construction giant Odebrecht admitted to paying bribes worth hundreds of millions across more than a dozen countries. Entire governments from Mexico to Argentina were implicated. Courts described how Odebrecht even had a special division of bribery within its company. Look at Peru. Transparency International and the BBC have reported that every president since the year 2000 has faced criminal charges. Alejandro Toledo is fighting extradition. Pedro Pablo Kuczynski was forced to resign. Alan Garcia, facing arrest, took his own life. That's not coincidence. That is a system built on corruption. Consider Venezuela. A 2019 U.S. Treasury report estimated that up to $300 billion were stolen from the state oil industry under Hugo Chavez and Nicolas Maduro, while billions vanished into offshore accounts. Ordinary Venezuelans were left without food, electricity, or medicine. And in the Caribbean, the Panama Papers and Pandora Papers revealed how leaders and elites used offshore shell companies to hide wealth. Investigative journalists working with the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists traced accounts from the Dominican Republic, Colombia, and even former presidents of Panama itself. These leaks proved that the Caribbean had become a laundromat for dirty money. Even reform faces resistance. In Guatemala, the UN-backed International Commission Against Impunity, known as CICIG, exposed criminal networks and even prosecuted sitting presidents. But when it became too effective, the country's political elite forced it out. As the New York Times reported, corruption fights back. So why does it persist? Because it pays. Elites benefit from it. Citizens often feel forced to pay bribes just to get a driver's license, see a doctor, or secure schooling. Courts and police are politicized or underfunded, and organized crime, from Mexican cartels to Central American gangs, injects billions into politics, buying protection at every level. But corruption is not destiny. We know what works. First, transparency in contracts. The World Bank has shown that open digital procurement reduces costs and makes bribery harder. Second, independent investigators and courts. Brazil's car wash team and Guatemala's CICIG prove that with independence and resources, even presidents can be held accountable. Third, beneficial ownership registries. After the Panama Papers, some countries began requiring companies to reveal their true owners. That makes it harder to launder stolen money through shell firms. And finally, a free press and protected whistleblowers. Investigative reporters were the ones who uncovered the Panama Papers, Lava Jato, and countless local scandals. Without them, corruption stays hidden. There are bright spots. According to Transparency International's Corruption Perceptions Index, Uruguay and Chile consistently rank among the least corrupt in the region. Their secret, independent institutions, transparency, and strong civic culture, that proves reform is not only possible, it works. So the fight against corruption is not only about punishing the guilty, it is about building societies where public money serves the public, where leaders answer to their citizens, and where the next generation grows up believing not that everyone is corrupt, but that honesty is the norm. That is the challenge before us and the hope worth fighting for. Thank you. Subscribe, like, and let me know what you think in the comments.